Alright, Shalom. It's your brother Yerashima from the GMS Champaign, Illinois branch. For all things, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we learned this truth from, and salutations to the Akim that's pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Alright, Shalom. Here, back with another lesson, man. Lord willing, it's edifying for the elect's sake, who we endure all things for. And yes, another video from the beloved page, Arrows of Indignation 144. And I'm just gonna, I don't want to rant, I don't want to talk too much. I'm just gonna start it.
This is the executive order that's being used by the National Guard, and Professor Poutine here, time for Mysteries Histories. Nominally titled Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. Sounds like a good thing. This is the executive order that's being used by the National Guard and ICE and police to sweep the homeless people off the streets in Washington, D.C., and maybe in Memphis and Chicago and St. Louis, wherever else the Trump administration decides to go. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, I'm not homeless, so I don't care. There's a few sentences in there you probably should be aware of, and if you don't believe me, I put the link in my bio below. You can read it for yourself. There's a sentence in there that authorizes the reversal of state and federal precedents against involuntary incarceration. And it encourages all the federal agencies that are executing this particular order to target chronic drug users, the mentally ill, and the homeless. And they are to put those people into, quote, appropriate facilities for an appropriate amount of time. Now, you might be thinking that's a great idea. Put them into a treatment facility, put them into a hospital, put them into a halfway home. If need be, I guess we could put them into a mental institution or a prison. Yeah, but the executive order also says that if there's no room in a mental hospital or a treatment facility or a prison, quote, this executive order ensures that those individuals are not to be released back into the public, end quote. Well, where are we going to put them? Oh, right, Alligator Alcatraz. Good thing we built those concentration camps. And again, you might be saying, yeah, but I'm not homeless. I'm not a chronic drug user. Maybe not. But have you ever sought treatment for alcohol addiction or any other addiction? Have you ever sought medical treatment for anxiety or depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia? Any other mental illness? Or know anybody that has? Because this executive order also authorizes the federal government to hand over the medical records of anybody who might be in need of, quote, involuntary incarceration, end quote. And just as an aside, ICE about a month ago received access to the medical records of all 79 million people on Medicaid. Normally this is to go after undocumented migrants, but since most undocumented migrants don't use Medicaid, what do you think ICE is searching those medical records for?
Alright, so this is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So this was always Esau, Edom, MMO, alright, as a use of order out of chaos, alright, create a problem and then bring a solution. So through his geese of safety, alright, oh man, the streets will be safer. We get all these homeless, crazy drug addicts off the damn street, all right, which is really just going to be pumping them into a prison, man. All right, so Esau, he's starting to begin his depopulation plans, man, and he's putting things into order. And the majority of people are not even paying attention to this. They don't even know what the hell going on. They could care less. As he said, I'm not homeless, you know, I'm not alcoholic, I'm not drug ridden, all right, I'm not a drug abuser, so it really doesn't concern me. And that's how a lot of these people are gonna get caught like a thief in the night, man. All right, especially you so-called Negroes, man. All right, all the tribes for sure, but you niggas, all right, because you're the head of folly, man. All right, if it don't concern a goddamn celebrity in a relationship, like Jake just don't pay no mind to it, man. So this is gonna catch a lot of you people by storm, man. All right, but Esau always comes through the guise of, hey, we're here for your safety. Right? Hey, but he's not doing this. He's not doing this out the kindness of his damn heart, man. He has a secret agenda. So let me get this in the book of Sirach 14:6. It says, "There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness." All right, so even if he does seem to, oh, this is, for the betterment of the people, all right, he do it. It says what? He do it unwillingly, and at the last he declare his wickedness. So when it's all said and done, you're gonna really see what it was really for, man. Why certain laws were being pushed, why certain rights were being took away, because we're coming into a total surveillance state, man, a big brother state, where everything you do is watched, monitored, and recorded. All right, and it will be used against you. All right, and America, we're coming into those days, man. Yeah, you people not paying attention, you're gonna be caught. You're gonna be caught, man, off in this, and it's gonna be horrifying for you, man, because you wasn't listening to the prophets, man. The Lord put His prophets out there to warn, but the mass majority of our people, they don't honor or respect the prophets. All right. They look down upon the true men of the Lord, as of in the days of old, man. This ain't nothing new, but it's all happening again, and the Lord is about to show His works, right? And Esau's about to make his move. You have to be on point. 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking who he may devour. All right, so you have to know what's going on, man. Be aware of your surroundings, man. The scriptures talk about being as gentle as doves, but as wise as serpents, man. So you have to be circumspect, all right, and having discernment in your daily walk, all right, knowing what not to say, all right, when to say certain things, all right, when to hold thy tongue back, man, and knowing when to leave, and you have to pray that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, bestows that Holy Spirit upon you, man. All right, that He's dealing with you, because the times that we're coming in, that's all that we're gonna have, man. Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, I believe, it talks about how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. All right, so you have to be on point in this thing, man. Let me grab this real quick. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, we are not ignorant of what this devil got going on, man. Let me play the rest of this, or some of it, or whatever.
We have some breaking news. What if the government could lock you up just for being different, or for having a different opinion? Trump just signed an executive order that lets states force people into treatment centers against their will if local authorities act on it. The public thinks this is about homelessness, but it's not just that. The homelessness issue seems to be a distraction from the real purpose of this order. The order says anyone deemed mentally ill and unable to care for themselves could be institutionalized even if they have a home. No jury, no trial, just a government official deciding you're a risk. Trump's DOJ was even told to overturn court rulings that protect your right to refuse confinement. Civil rights groups say this could be used to silence protesters, whistleblowers, or anyone the government wants to disappear. There's no new money for care, no limits on who decides, just a pen and power, and Trump is wielding that pen. This isn't a homelessness policy, guys. It's a blueprint for control and fear. I just can't stop thinking about this. The Attorney General shall, quote, assess federal resources to determine whether they may be directed toward ensuring, to the extent permitted by law, that detainees with serious mental illnesses are not released into the public because of a lack of forensic bed capacity at appropriate local, state, and federal jails or hospitals. What in the hell does this mean? Warehousing people? Using those billions of dollars in the new detention facilities to disappear people living in poverty? We're already seeing reckless human rights violations, violations of due process for undocumented people, as well as those with citizenship. So how are we supposed to believe this administration will follow any sort of principles related to preventing human rights violations when it comes to this plan for the unhoused? I can't even describe the level of rage that I feel. I may, at this point in this video, have a rage rash on my neck. I don't know. I hope I do, because I want people to see the rage here, because I hope you feel it too. I hope you know that you're not alone. Under the guise of public safety, this administration is prepared to amp up their assaults on human and civil rights. And so this is what they want. They want to push more people into poverty. They want to push people living in poverty out of sight in the form of involuntary commitment for poverty, or by tossing them away in a cage. And they want the rest of us to accept it. I don't. I reject the propaganda that tells me that there's something unique and special about me that allows me to live in a house and not on the street. I'm lucky. I'm no different than anyone who's living on the street, and I know that I'm not immune from ending up there myself should enough tragedy happen in my life.
All right. And here it is. They say the average American is only a paycheck or two away from being homeless. And with things going as the way they are, you know, you got Trump cutting all the funding to Section 8 and housing, and all right, jobs are being more scarce. All right, things are getting more expensive via the tariffs. Groceries are going up. Homelessness is going to land on a lot more people. So at the same time as it's getting hard and people are living out their cars and is becoming more and more homeless, in the same breath they're criminalizing homelessness. All right, because hey, this is what he plans to do. He plans to depopulate this place, man. So Isaiah 19:4, it says, "And the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." All right, so hey, we're under that rulership of that cruel king, man. All right, which hey, we believe that Trump is a Nero and reincarnated, man. He comes in that same spirit, all right, putting the blame on people. He's the same dude who started a big ass fire and blamed it on the Israelites, man. All right, you could tell that spirit is on Trump, man. But yeah, we are in those times, man. Things are here, things are picking up. Hey, the Lord is moving, and people who are not aware of this, man, they're gonna be caught into this shit and die. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. All right, when you go into decrees, it's laws. So these certain executive orders, laws, and policies being put in place are they're unrighteous. It says, "In right grievousness what they have prescribed, to turn away the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." All right, because Esau's a coward, man. All right, this is how he gets down, though, man. He's the devil. All right, when you see the devil, it just means deceiver, man. He's deceived the whole world, man. All right, to convincing the world that he's some type of angel of light when he's really, all right, Satan. All right, he's really the physical counterpart of Satan on the earth, man. This devil, he has to be taken out of rulership, but before that, you know, it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. He's gonna make his move, man. And I think I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, this was edifying for the elect's sake, we adore all things for. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Akim Shalom.